The recent killing of peacekeepers in South Sudan and the Central African Republic are prime examples of the emerging threat against peacekeeping missions in Africa. The targets of these ambushes and killings are not just UN peacekeepers, but also foreign troops serving in certain regions in the continent who have come under attack or risk being attacked. So what does this tell the international community, and could this jeopardize the missions in the continent? CCTV's Girum Chala reports.
When the colonial order ended in Africa, a myriad of problems threatened the new African nations. According to a recent study, 16 wars took place between 1990 and 1997 in Africa. Of these, 14 were intrastate conflicts. So to help stabilize the continent, peacekeeping missions were launched from Somalia to Liberia to the DR Congo and now between the two Sudans. These days, however, peacekeeping soldiers serving under the African Union or the UN missions are facing death and disaster, which are being launched by rebels and unidentified armed groups. 5 Indian peacekeepers escorting a UN convoy in South Sudan have been killed in an ambush by rebels, as well as the 13 South African soldiers slain by the Seleka rebels in the Central African Republic can be used as recent examples.
Violence always, breeds further violence, and these activities should be condemned in the strongest terms, especially the killing of a peacekeeper, somebody that has brought in to help people, to promote peace, to ensure that the rule of law is respected. This is condemned in strong terms.
Peacekeeping and peacemaking missions undertaken by the UN and the Security Council in Africa historically has had mixed results. But generally, peacekeeping missions in the continent can be called successful, as they have helped countries like Liberia, Burundi, and now South Sudan to stand on their feet.
On the whole, when you look at it in recent times, you look at what has happened in Liberia, you look at Sierra Leone, you look at even Côte d'Ivoire, you see that indeed peacekeeping measures has been quite successful to a certain extent. And you see that even in other cases, places like Namibia and Angola, peacekeeping arrangements did take root at that time, and it led to a peaceful resolution.
The number of UN forces in Africa actually declined in the period between October 2006 and October 2007. While this could be some of the reasons why peacekeeping operation in Africa did not achieve their goals, other factors may also play a role in peacekeeping in Africa.
In very many places where you have a peacekeeping arrangement, the operations in such places do fall short of a peace enforcement arrangement.
When we interlink our peace and security architecture and the African governance architecture, and the two are in full swing, we will have sounder systems, stronger institutions on the country. We will have good governance. We will have respect for the rule of law.
Many agree this growing trend of slaughtering peacekeepers in Africa may affect the ongoing peace process in the continent. And if that is going to be the case, then there needs to be a way of counter-combating the ambushes and killings against the peacekeepers. The killings and ambush against peacekeepers emanates from the frustration of armed rebels that may create a serious damage to the already started process of making the continent stable. Girum Chala, CCTV, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.